Have you ever wondered why some people build wealth so much faster? It often feels like there's a secret rulebook for money. Most of us never get to read it. The average person works hard, earns a paycheck, pays their bills, hopes to save a little. They follow the traditional path and end up running in place. It's not lack of intelligence or work ethic. It's a different game with different rules. The wealthy see a paycheck as a tool, not just spending money. They build foundations for financial empires. Wealthy people make money work for them. They use systems most people ignore. They leverage banking relationships, not just to store cash, but to access capital. They use business credit to multiply opportunities. They use debt, leverage, as an accelerator, not a burden. This film will hand you that hidden playbook. We will reveal exact strategies to turn income into a wealth-generating machine, a clear pathway to financial freedom. We start with what you already have, a job and a paycheck. Then transform that income into seed capital. You will learn to set up a business structure like an LLC to protect yourself and create a separate financial identity. We will show how to build banking relationships, establish business credit, and unlock funding. This isn't get rich quick. It's conservative, proven strategies for long-term wealth. No finance degree needed. No big inheritance required. Bring willingness to learn and commitment to change. We explain legal basics in simple terms. We give low-risk, safety-first strategies. Most importantly, a mindset shift. Stop thinking like an employee. Start thinking like an owner. Use financial systems to acquire and grow income-producing assets. This shift is the key to the playbook of the rich. To make this journey clear, actionable, and most importantly, achievable, we will use a powerful framework I call the wealth ladder. This isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a strategic blueprint designed to guide your ascent from where you are now to where you want to be. Think of it as a series of sturdy, sequential rungs. Each one represents a critical, non-negotiable step you must take to climb from a state of financial dependency to a state of true financial freedom. The ladder metaphor is intentional. It signifies a structured, deliberate climb, not a chaotic scramble or a lucky jump. You don't get to the top by accident. You get there by taking one calculated step at a time. Each part of this documentary will focus on one specific rung of the ladder. We'll deconstruct every stage, ensuring you understand not just the what, the concept itself, but also the how, the practical, step-by-step actions to take. Crucially, we will explore the why, the underlying principles and long-term vision that will fuel your motivation when challenges arise. Understanding the why is what separates those who start from those who finish. This structured approach is designed to combat the single biggest obstacle to financial progress: overwhelm. The goal of financial freedom can feel impossibly distant, like trying to build a skyscraper in a single day. The wealth ladder breaks that monumental task down into manageable chapters. It prevents you from feeling paralyzed by complexity and allows you to focus your energy on mastering one essential skill before moving on to the next. This creates momentum and builds confidence with every rung you climb. The journey, for nearly everyone, starts at the bottom with your current paycheck. But we must reframe what that paycheck represents. It is not a measure of your worth, nor is it a ceiling on your potential. From this day forward, you will see it as the raw material for your future empire. This methodical guide will show you how to take that starting resource and guide it upward, rung by rung, toward financial independence. The very first rung of the wealth ladder is building a solid foundation from your earned income. This is the bedrock upon which everything else is built. Here, you learn the fundamental shift in perspective, to see your paycheck not as a limit on your spending, but as a powerful launching pad for your investments. Every dollar becomes a seed, and you are learning how to become a master gardener. The next rung involves a crucial step that many overlook: creating a formal business structure. This means separating your personal and professional financial worlds completely. By forming an entity like an LLC, you build a firewall, giving you essential liability protection. This isn't just for big corporations. It's the first step in treating your wealth-building activities with the seriousness they deserve, gaining credibility in the process. From there, we climb to the rung of building banking relationships and establishing business credit. This is where you stop being just a customer and start becoming a partner to the financial system. A strong banking relationship and a solid business credit profile are the keys that unlock other people's money, which is the fuel for accelerated growth. Once that foundation is secure, the higher rungs teach you how to use leverage intelligently. This is the art of using the bank's money and other resources to acquire income-producing assets, like real estate, or to scale a business. This is where your wealth begins to grow exponentially, far beyond what your personal income could ever achieve alone. Notice the sequence. Each step builds directly and logically on the one before it. Your business structure protects the foundation you built. Your business credit allows you to seek leverage safely. This sequential process creates a stable and powerful ascent toward your financial goals, minimizing risk at every stage. This is critical because too many people try to jump straight to the top of the ladder. They hear about real estate or crypto and dive in headfirst, chasing risky investments or taking on mountains of bad debt, all without first mastering the fundamentals. This is like trying to put a roof on a house with no walls. It is a recipe for disaster, and it almost always leads to failure and financial ruin. By following the wealth ladder, you do the opposite. You build from the ground up. You will develop the habits, the knowledge, and the systems necessary to manage wealth responsibly as you build it. You learn to handle $1,000 before you're given $10,000, and you master $10,000 before you're given $100,000. This process teaches you virtues that are essential for long-term success. You will learn patience in a world that screams for instant gratification. You will learn discipline when it's easier to be impulsive. And you will learn the art of strategic thinking, seeing the entire board, not just the piece in front of you. Ultimately, this isn't just about accumulating money for its own sake. Money is simply a tool. This is about becoming the kind of person who can create, manage, and grow wealth over the long term. It's about building a legacy of security and opportunity for yourself and for future generations. The ultimate goal of this mindset shift, the very top of the ladder, is to move from being an active earner to a passive owner. An active earner trades their time for money. If they stop working, the money stops. An owner, by contrast, builds and acquires systems, businesses, real estate, investments that generate income whether they are actively working or not. Their money works for them instead of the other way around. The wealth ladder is your blueprint for making this critical transition. It is the distillation of the bank playbook the rich have used for generations, made simple and accessible. By the end of this documentary, you will not only understand this playbook, but you will also have a clear, actionable plan to implement it in your own life, starting today. You will have the clarity and the confidence needed to take that first, most important step on your own wealth ladder. The path is laid out before you. You will be ready to begin the climb, transforming your financial destiny one rung at a time. For millions, this is the familiar, frustrating cycle. The paycheck arrives, a brief moment of relief, quickly overshadowed by a mountain of expenses. Many people view their paycheck as a limitation, a fixed amount that barely covers their monthly obligations, leaving little room for dreams of wealth. It feels like a ceiling on their potential, a number that dictates what they can't do, rather than what they can. They see it as the end of a transaction, trading precious hours of their life for a predetermined sum of money. It's a closed loop. Work, get paid, spend, repeat. This perspective traps them in a defensive financial posture, always reacting to expenses rather than proactively building a future. But what if this was a fundamental misunderstanding? What if this paycheck wasn't the end, but the very beginning of a financial journey? The wealthy, and those on the path to wealth, understand a fundamental truth that often feels like a hidden playbook. A consistent, predictable income is one of the most powerful and underrated assets a person can possess. It's not a limitation, it's a launch pad. It is not the sheer amount of the paycheck that matters initially, but its unwavering reliability. This steady stream of cash flow, no matter how modest, is the critical element. Think of it like a constant, reliable spring. It may not be a raging river, but its persistence is what allows a vast reservoir to be filled over time. This reliability provides a stable foundation upon which a financial empire can be methodically constructed. It is the bedrock, the starting block from which all future wealth generation begins. Without this predictable inflow, any attempt to build wealth is like trying to build a skyscraper on sand. The first step in transforming your financial life is to radically change your perception of the money you already earn. You must stop seeing it as mere spending money and start seeing it for what it truly is, raw material. Think of your paycheck as a block of marble for a sculptor, or a plot of land for a developer. In its current, unrefined state, it simply exists, providing for your immediate needs and comforts. It keeps the lights on and puts food on the table, but its potential is dormant. But with a plan, a vision, and a set of financial tools, it can be shaped, molded, and developed into something far greater and more valuable. It can become a source of security, freedom, and lasting prosperity. Without the vision, the marble remains just a rock. This raw material of regular income has a quality that financial institutions value above almost all else: predictability. When you approach a lender, they aren't just looking at how much you have. They are looking at your capacity to generate cash flow in the future. When you can show a documented history of reliable income, month after month, year after year, you are demonstrating low risk. You become a trustworthy partner in their eyes, someone they can confidently extend credit to because your ability to repay is clear and consistent. This perspective shift is absolutely crucial. You must stop seeing your paycheck as just enough to get by and start seeing it as the master key that unlocks the door to the entire banking and financial system. It's the ticket that gets you in the game. So how do we begin this transformation? It starts with a simple but profound change in habit. You must treat your paycheck as a funding mechanism for your future, not just as fuel for your present consumption. The common approach is flawed. People receive their pay, immediately spend it on bills, then on lifestyle wants, and finally, they hope something is left over to save. This is the formula for staying financially stagnant, forever running on a treadmill. The wealthy, regardless of their income level, reverse this process entirely. They pay themselves first. They treat saving and investing as the first and most important bill to be paid each month. It's not an afterthought. It's the top priority. They automate this process, ensuring that a portion of their income is moved into wealth-building accounts before they are even tempted to spend it. Before a single dollar is spent on discretionary items, the new gadget, the expensive dinner, the subscription you barely use, a predetermined portion of their income is allocated to building their asset base. This isn't about deprivation. It's about deliberate, conscious prioritization. It's choosing the future you want over the impulse you feel right now. It's about deeply understanding that every dollar you save and invest today is a seed that, through the magic of compounding, can grow into a mighty tree, providing shade and fruit for years to come. That dollar becomes a tiny employee, working for you around the clock, even while you sleep. This mindset, this habit of paying yourself first, is the essential first rung on the wealth ladder. It is the non-negotiable foundation. It requires discipline. It requires you to see beyond the immediate gratification of spending and to embrace the profound, long-term power of accumulation. It's the difference between renting your lifestyle and owning your future. With this shift, your job, the source of your paycheck, is no longer just a daily grind. It is transformed into the engine of your wealth-building machine. It's your strategic tool for the first phase of your financial plan. Consider a nurse who earns a steady salary. By treating 10% of her paycheck as her first bill, she automatically invests it into a simple, low-cost fund. Initially, the amount is small, but after a few years, the dividends from her growing investment are enough to pay her phone bill each month. Her paycheck has bought her a small piece of freedom. This is the principle in action. Your job becomes your temporary vehicle for generating the initial capital needed to acquire assets that will eventually work for you, freeing you from the need to trade time for money. Every payday is an opportunity to add another brick to your financial fortress. By viewing your consistent income not as a cage, but as a strategic asset, you align your thinking with that of successful investors and business owners. You begin to speak their language and play by the same rules. This foundational shift in perspective is what sets the stage for every subsequent step toward true and lasting financial freedom. We begin by revisiting the bedrock of your financial transformation, the 50-30-20 rule. This isn't just a budget, it's a strategic allocation of every dollar you earn. By dedicating 20% of your income to a wealth fund, you are making a non-negotiable commitment to your future. We then divide this powerful fund into two distinct accounts: a 10% allocation to your emergency fund, your shield against life's unexpected turns, and another 10% to your opportunity fund, the seed capital for your future enterprise. The secret to making this system work is to remove willpower from the equation. We achieve this through automation. By setting up automatic transfers from your paycheck directly into your wealth fund accounts, you are paying yourself first. This simple action ensures your financial goals are prioritized, turning discipline into a system that runs on autopilot, silently building your foundation week after week. With your personal finances organized and automated, you begin building a track record. Every consistent deposit and healthy account balance tells a story of financial responsibility. This is how you transform your relationship with your bank. They cease to be a simple vault for your money and become a potential partner, observing your discipline and seeing you as a reliable, low-risk individual. Now, we take a pivotal step from personal finance to business structure by forming a limited liability company, or LLC. This is a crucial defensive move. The LLC creates a corporate veil, a legal separation between your personal life and your business activities. This means if the business faces debts or legal challenges, your personal assets, your home, your car, your savings, are protected. The process is straightforward. First, you obtain an Employer Identification Number, or EIN, from the IRS. This is like a social security number for your business. Next, you draft an operating agreement, which outlines the rules and ownership of your company. Finally, you secure any necessary local or state licenses. These steps formalize your business and are essential for what comes next. Armed with your LLC formation documents and your EIN, you walk back into the bank, not just as a personal client, but as a founder. You open your first business bank account and make your initial capital contribution, a direct transfer from the opportunity fund you've been building. This act breathes financial life into your new entity. From this moment on, your focus is on building your business's financial resume. Maintain a clean transaction history, avoid commingling personal and business funds, and strive to keep a healthy average daily balance. This banking history becomes the primary document lenders will review to assess your company's stability and grant it a low-risk rating. This leads us to the critical distinction between personal and business credit. Personal credit is tied to your social security number and your individual history. Business credit is tied to your EIN and the company's financial behavior. Building strong business credit opens the door to higher credit limits and funding opportunities without putting your personal credit score at risk. The journey begins by establishing a credit file. You'll get a DUNS number from Dun & Bradstreet, a key identifier used by lenders and suppliers. Then, you can open a secured business credit card, using your own funds as collateral. Use it for small, recurring business expenses and pay the balance in full each month to demonstrate responsible credit management. Next, you leverage vendor credit, also known as trade credit. Start with suppliers who offer net 30 inches terms, which allow you to pay for goods 30 days after purchase. By consistently paying these invoices early, you build a powerful record of reliability that gets reported to business credit bureaus, strengthening your company's credit profile. Remember that banking is about relationships. We teach you to proactively manage this by scheduling brief, quarterly check-ins with your banker. Share your progress, discuss your plans, and ask for advice. This transforms the relationship from transactional to advisory, building invaluable trust and keeping you top of mind. With a strong foundation, you're ready to understand leverage, using other people's money, primarily the banks, to acquire assets. But leverage must be used with discipline. The critical rule is that the asset you acquire must generate enough cash flow to more than cover the debt payments. This is the key to using leverage safely and profitably. When it's time to secure your first loan, you won't be asking for a favor. You'll be presenting a business case. You'll walk in with a concise proposal, your LLC documents, your pristine bank statements, and clear cash flow projections. You've done the work, built the history, and established the relationship. The loan is the logical next step. This entire journey represents the ascent up the wealth ladder. From a simple paycheck, you built a foundation of savings, created a legal business entity, established its financial credibility, and used that credibility to access leverage, turning earned income into a portfolio of assets. This is the system in its entirety. Each step is designed to build upon the last, creating a repeatable, scalable process for building wealth. The path is clear. The only variable is your decision to begin. Start today by structuring your next paycheck. Your future is no longer something that happens to you. It is something you will build by design. This is the path from financial dependence to a life of true ownership and financial sovereignty. The journey begins now.